Hello, Scott and Trumpers on YouTube. Um, I'm going to give you some bad news. Okay. Well, bad news in the sense that it's confirming that the Earth is getting hotter, and hotter faster than we had thought previously. Now, this new data is dealing with ocean heat. Okay. And for the uninitiated or scientifically illiterate, and that would include Donald Trump, because let me emphasize, Donald Trump doesn't frickin' read. He's too lazy. He watches Fox News most of the time, which is like news for dummies and conservative, real dumbed down, and fear mongering. Oh gosh, I stop. I'm on a tangent. Sorry, strike that from the record. The oceans, if you didn't know this, the increased heat content, I guess they call it heat content, the increased heat content of the globe, most of it goes into the oceans because there's a lot of ocean. There's more ocean than there is land, and there's more ocean mass or water mass than there is atmosphere. Atmosphere is just gas molecules, which are light and don't have much mass, of course. So the atmosphere is heating. The land masses are heating a little. They're heating a little bit, somewhat, but most 90%. Scott, this is a statistic for you and Donnie Trump. But Don isn't interested in learning, right? He knows everything. Got a big brain. Big brain. Chinese know about the big brain. It's big here. It's big here. Big back here. It's so big. Yeah. What I'm gonna talk about. He has no clue. Okay. So the oceans are trapping the heat, the additional heat, because of global warming, which is a hoax, right? It's a big hoax. And let me give you the sources of the information. This is the article. The original article, okay, is Science Magazine. It's How Fast Are the Oceans Warming? That's the original article that was published. I don't know, two days ago. It says 93% of the energy imbalance accumulates. They're talking about the energy imbalance is the additional heat. Okay. Accumulates in the ocean as increased ocean heat content. The ocean record of this imbalance is much less affected by internal variability. I'm just reading the summary because I can't get to the article itself. This is just the summary of the scientific article in Science. Let me make sure I get this right. Science Magazine. So these are scientists, right? Writing this. It says variability is better suited for detecting. Okay. The oceans are much less affected by internal variability and thus better suited for detecting and attributing human influences than more commonly used surface temperature records. In other words, what they're saying is the oceans are a better barometer or thermometer for the increased heat content of the globe. Okay. Recent observation-based estimates show rapid warming of the Earth's oceans over the past few decades. See Figure 1. The warming has contributed to increases in rainfall intensity, rising sea levels, and the destruction of coral reefs. Who cares about coral reefs, right, Scott? We don't need them. Coral reefs, who cares? Australia, Great Barrier Reef. Yeah, we don't need no coral reefs. Coral reefs destruction, declining ocean oxygen levels, declines in ice sheets and glaciers. I don't know. things are getting hot. It's melting. Ice sheets and glaciers, ice cap in the polar region. Wait, polar region. Way up in the north, the polar region, ice cap is getting smaller and smaller. I'm doing these visuals. Small, 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 because of the Trump. I'm trying to get to the Trump audience. They're I don't know. They're more visual. They're visual. They're not linguistic kind. Sorry, I'm putting you guys down, but it's okay. I'm having fun doing it. Okay, so everything is melting. All the water ice is melting. Ice caps are melting. I'm almost done here. Recent estimates of the observed warming resemble those in models, indicating the models reliably project changes. Oh, okay. They're saying that the models are working out. I guess that they're accurately predicting the increased heat. Okay, that was the summary. Okay, in the science article. Let's see. So did I get that? It said more rapid than thought. All right. Yes. Let me repeat that second section. It says recent observation-based estimates show rapid warming of Earth's oceans over the past few decades. And then they give the warning. The warming has contributed to increases in rainfall intensity, rising sea levels, destruction of coral reefs, declining of ocean oxygen levels, declines in ice sheets, glaciers, the polar ice cap. Okay, now, and I can. The New York Times has summarized this article. They've read the whole entire article. This is Science Magazine. Now, what I gave you was Science Magazine. Now I go to the New York Times. And the New York Times, their thing is, ocean warming is accelerating faster than thought, new research finds. And it's going to say the same thing or similar. It's a long article. I recommend that if you're interested, Scott, instead of fiddling around on YouTube, you might want to either read the Science Magazine summary. You could do that. Or you could read the entire New York Times article. I realize that would be a lot of work. But, okay, most of the heat, additional heat, is going into the oceans, right? It's being trapped into the oceans. And the Arctic region, that's why the Arctic region is, and one of the reasons why the Arctic region is heating up extremely fast, because the light is, that radiation is going right into the, if there's no reflection, and we talked about albedo in another, albedo, it's called, Donald Trump doesn't know what albedo means. It's some obscure word. It's science. Who knows about science? I don't know. Trump doesn't know. He's just on his Twitter making tweets. That's what he does. Computer? What's a computer? I don't know what a computer. I don't use computer. Ooh, I just use my little phone. I tweet all day long. Okay, albedo. So the albedo effect is lessening. And Scott, you must know what albedo is, right? The albedo effect in the polar ice cap is lessening. So that means more heat is being trapped, more light is being trapped in the radiation being trapped in the water. It's not being reflected by the ice cap. And then let me end it this way. Here's another thing that Donald Trump has no clue, zero clue, because he doesn't learn, he doesn't listen, doesn't learn, doesn't read. Got to emphasize that. Donald Trump does not read. He watches television. Ocean acidification. Okay? So that's the twin problem with the increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. That increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere then dissolves, okay, into the ocean water, which makes the ocean water more acidic. And the carbon is the carbon dioxide has changed, I say chemistry, it changes into different molecules, but it makes the ocean water more acidic. Okay, and it traps the carbon in there as well. So, and it's wiping out shellfish because they have a hard time developing their shells if the ocean water is too acidic. But Donald Trump doesn't care about that, and the Republicans don't care about that because they couldn't give a damn about the oceans or the environment. Just let it who cares? We don't care. Just, let all those things die. We don't care. Yeah. And Donald Trump has no clue, right? Oh, it's called ocean. Here we go. Ocean acidification. Something Donald Trump will never learn. Isn't that sweet? I'm going to give you the thumbs up again. Something that Donald Trump will never know or learn about. But you, Scott Adams, should. You're an intelligent fellow, talented, rich, famous. So, and your other deniers and Trumpers, some of you guys are racist. I don't know. You certainly seem like racist. So look up ocean acidification. That's the second big problem with carbon, huge amounts of carbon going into the atmosphere. So just one other thing to worry about. Global warming, ocean acidification. That'll be a humdinger too. But hey, just keep burning the carbon, man. We couldn't give a dang. We just destroy the whole thing, right? We don't care. We're conservatives. We're Republicans. All we care about is money. Money and sex, playmates, porn stars, and then paying them off to be quiet. I'm sorry, I better stop.